The Bold and the Beautiful, May 15th, 2025. Steffi's shocking confession, Taylor's reckoning, and Hope's emotional tornado pushes Carter into Daphne's arms. The latest revelations from The Bold and the Beautiful on Thursday, May 15th, 2025, pull no punches. The emotional stakes skyrocket as secrets come crashing down, loyalties are tested, and hearts shatter in slow motion. In the heart of this tangled mess stand Steffi Forrester, Hope Logan, Taylor Hayes, Carter Walton, and Daphne Rose, all orbiting around the devastating reality of Liam Spencer's terminal diagnosis. As tears fall and truths explode, everyone must choose between what they want and what they must accept. The choices made today will reshape every relationship in their lives. At the dramatic and isolated Cliff House, always a place where truth seems to find its way out, Taylor Hayes arrives unannounced, only to stumble upon a conversation that floors her. Steffi is speaking quietly to Finn, but Taylor hears enough to understand one undeniable truth: Liam is dying. The words strike like lightning. Liam has an inoperable brain tumor. Taylor is stunned. She never expected to walk into this. She's a psychiatrist, trained in managing trauma and composed under pressure, but this moment slices through all of that. Liam Spencer, the boy who once loved her daughter, the father of her granddaughter's sister, is dying, and there's nothing anyone can do. But that's not the only blow. Taylor also learns that Steffi has already told Hope, defying Liam's express wishes. That part hits differently. Not because she disagrees with it, but because she knows what it cost her daughter. Steffi made a decision, one that would alter the trajectory of not only Hope's life, but her own. Taylor listens as Steffi explains why she did it. Her voice cracks, but she's steady. She couldn't keep the truth from Hope, not when it affected Beth, not when the clock was running out. Finn had already backed her up. And now, so does Taylor. She doesn't scold or second-guess. Instead, she listens, understands, and reassures. Hope deserved to know. She has just as much emotional stake in Liam's life as Steffi does. Beth is her daughter, and Liam is her once and possibly still true love. No matter the rocky past, Hope's right to know the truth was unshakable. Taylor sees that. And for all the pain this truth carries, she sees strength in her daughter's courage. There is no condemnation, only support. A mother sees her daughter struggling with a moral weight and chooses to lift it rather than add more. But just as the storm settles at the Cliff House, emotional chaos is boiling elsewhere. Across town at Brooke's home, Hope Logan is in the middle of a gut-wrenching conversation with Liam. He's pale, tired, already burdened by the knowledge that his days are numbered. Hope is a mess of tears, unable to hold it together, and she doesn't care. She's breaking in front of the only man who ever truly knew her soul. Every word she says, every touch, is weighted with unspoken grief and impossible love. She promises to stay by his side. She doesn't want to let go. She can't. What she doesn't know is that Carter Walton is listening from outside the door, caught in a moment he was never meant to witness. He hears her declarations. He hears the aching truth. Hope still loves Liam. And in that moment, something inside Carter finally fractures. He had held out hope. Despite everything, he believed that maybe, just maybe, Hope would choose him. That their connection meant something more. That he could be her next chapter, not just the epilogue of a failed romance. But what he hears confirms the worst. Hope is still tethered to Liam with chains too strong for Carter to compete with. She's not ready to let go. And that means she's not ready to love him. Carter doesn't confront her. He doesn't storm in. He walks away straight into the arms of the one woman who's been waiting for this moment, Daphne Rose. Daphne has been circling Carter like a hawk. Beautiful, cunning, persistent, she's made it no secret that she wants him. But until now, Carter has kept her at arm's length, distracted by his feelings for hope. That restraint crumbles now. Daphne doesn't miss a beat. She comforts him, listens, and then, strategically and without shame, offers him the alternative he never thought he'd need. She tells him it's time to move on. That hope is choosing Liam. That it's not weakness to grieve, but it's foolish to wait forever. Carter listens, and slowly, reluctantly, he lets himself fall into Daphne's narrative. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe this is what moving on looks like. And Daphne? She sees her opening and takes it. Every inch of her presence is designed to seduce not just physically, but emotionally. She wants more than Carter's affection. She wants permanence. And now, with hope seemingly out of the way, she can finally get it. Carter is vulnerable, torn, and Daphne makes her play. This isn't just a rebound. It's an attempt to rewrite the entire romantic equation. And in that moment, confused, hurt, and heartbroken, Carter gives in. Not fully. Not yet. But the door has opened, and Daphne isn't leaving until it's hers. But nothing is ever that clean on the bold and the beautiful. Because even as Carter and Daphne start to tip into something new, Hope and Liam's conversation takes an unexpected turn. After pouring out her soul, Hope finally listens. Liam reminds her gently, but firmly, that he won't be around forever. His time is short, and she has a life still waiting. He can't be her future. He can only be her past. And then, he does the unthinkable. He brings up Carter. He tells Hope that Carter is the man she should be with. That Carter is steady, real, and still waiting. He plants a seed. A future for Hope that doesn't die when he does. A chance for happiness beyond tragedy. It's painful, selfless, and perfectly Liam. Hope is stunned. She looks at Liam, then at herself. And maybe, for the first time, she sees what he's saying. Maybe she is ready to let go of a dream that's already slipping away. Maybe, just maybe, she still has time to choose something new. And that's where everything begins to shift. Because Carter, now tangled in Daphne's arms, is on the brink of surrendering his heart to someone he doesn't love. And Hope, still raw and reeling, might be realizing that she's not done with Carter after all. The next moves are a dangerous game of timing and emotion. If Hope comes back too late, Carter may have crossed a line he can't undo. If Carter gives in too deeply to Daphne, he may miss the last chance to have what he really wanted all along. And Daphne, watching all of this, knows that one wrong step could cost her everything she's tried to build. Her game isn't over. She's not finished yet. And if she senses that Hope is circling back, there's no telling what she'll do to make sure history doesn't repeat itself. This isn't just a love triangle anymore. It's a minefield of grief, lust, loyalty, and revenge. Steffi's secret set it all in motion. Taylor's support steadied the storm. But now, the fates of Hope, Carter, Liam, and Daphne hang in the balance. The future is unwritten, but the next steps will decide everything. In the coming episodes, expect fallout. Big choices, bitter tears, and maybe, just maybe, a twist that no one saw coming. Because in the bold and the beautiful, no one ever truly moves on. They just shift their focus until fate brings them crashing back into the people they thought they had left behind. And this story? It's far from over. As the curtains begin to close on May Sweeps, the bold and the beautiful delivers one of its most lavish, unpredictable, and emotionally chaotic storylines yet, transporting its core power players to the romantic and dangerous backdrop of Italy. Brooke Logan, Ridge Forrester, and Eric Forrester may have boarded a jet under the guise of a fashion shoot, but no one watching is fooled. When this trio lands in Europe, they bring every tangled emotion, unresolved past, and ticking bomb of desire with them. And what's waiting in Italy is nothing short of a powder keg complete with a returning ex-husband, a hidden onlooker, and the possibility of an affair that could burn everything down. The stage is set for what's supposed to be a dazzling Forrester Creations fashion shoot, sunlight-drenched stone villas, Italian elegance, silk blowing in the wind, and camera flashes reflecting off the glistening sea. But even as models and stylists begin prepping the runway, there's only one show that really matters: the emotional unraveling of Brooke, Ridge, and Eric. Brooke Logan, as always, is caught in the eye of the storm. She's arrived in Italy not just as the lead of Forrester's campaign, but as a woman at a crossroads. Her past is not behind her. It's chasing her down across continents. Ridge Forrester, ever the brooding, complicated architect of romantic dysfunction, has joined her under the Mediterranean sun with one thing on his mind: redemption. He wants Brooke back. He's said it before. He's fought for it before. But this time, something feels different. Something feels final. Ridge is ready to make the move he's resisted for far too long: seal their love with a kiss, make a commitment, write the ending they never quite finished. But Ridge didn't count on Taylor Hayes. Because Taylor is here too, maybe not officially, maybe not even invited, but she's here. Lingering in the shadows, possibly hiding in the bushes with a broken heart and binoculars, Taylor watches. And what she sees threatens to rip her apart. Ridge and Brooke, standing in a Tuscan garden surrounded by history, time, and unsaid words. Their eyes meet. The silence stretches. And then it happens. The kiss. Passionate. Desperate. Dangerous. A kiss that Taylor sees with her own eyes, a kiss that signals everything she feared. Ridge is still in love with Brooke. But the love triangle isn't the only thing tearing at the seams of this trip. Eric Forrester, rarely seen in recent months since his miraculous recovery, returns to the fold with an energy that suggests he's got his own agenda. He may have framed this trip as business: one more collection, one more chance to stand at the helm of the Forrester empire, but there's more bubbling beneath the surface. Eric's motivations go deeper than fashion. He's the one who's been pushing Ridge to forget Taylor. He's the one who nudged his son back toward Brooke. But what if that wasn't selfless? What if it wasn't just a father's wisdom or a business strategy? What if Eric's advice to Ridge was a smokescreen for something he's been trying to deny for years? Because Eric and Brooke have history too. Not just as father-in-law and daughter-in-law. Not just as colleagues. As lovers. As husband and wife. As the parents of Bridget. Their love was quiet but powerful, pushed aside over the years, but never fully extinguished. And now, with Ridge distracted and Donna Logan, Brooke's sister and Eric's current wife, back in LA, the old spark may not be quite so buried after all. Eric watches Brooke in Italy laughing with Ridge, walking the stone paths of Capri, looking out over the cliffs, and something shifts in him. Maybe Ridge isn't the only man still in love with Brooke. Maybe Eric never really let go. And maybe, just maybe, this trip wasn't about bringing Ridge and Brooke back together, but about seeing if he still had a place in her heart himself. But before that tension can boil over, the true explosion arrives. Nick Marone. The rugged sailor turned businessman. The man who nearly tore Brooke and Ridge apart once before. The ex-husband she never quite buried. And he returns now, not in Los Angeles, not in a quiet cafe or a corporate office, but in the middle of Brooke's photo shoot in Italy, walking out of the shadows with that familiar half-smile that says everything and nothing all at once. Brooke's breath catches. She wasn't ready for this. She didn't know he'd be here. No one did. And yet, here he is. Sun-kissed, confident, and very much ready to shake things up. Nick and Brooke's history is wild and emotional, filled with betrayal, longing, accidental pregnancies, and passionate reunions. Their connection was raw, Primal, a collision of needs and timing that somehow always felt incomplete. And now, they're face to face again. In Italy, in front of Ridge, with Eric watching from the wings. And every romantic landmine buried over the past 2 decades starts ticking again. Ridge sees the way Brooke looks at Nick. It's not just surprise. It's familiarity. It's comfort. And maybe, just maybe, it's temptation. Taylor sees it too. She's already seen the kiss. Now she sees the threat. And Eric? No one knows what he sees. His face is unreadable. But his silence is loud. And just when the group tries to return to some semblance of professionalism, rumors swirl about a locked door, a fateful keyhole, and a secret rendezvous that might have already happened. Did Brooke and Nick meet before the photo shoot? Did they talk? Kiss? Was it more? No one knows yet, but speculation spreads like wildfire and trust begins to crumble. The photo shoot devolves into whispers, tension, sidelong glances. Models pose while producers argue. Wardrobe assistants listen in on hushed conversations about love, betrayal, and second chances. Italy, meant to be the backdrop for fashion, becomes the main stage for emotional carnage. And let's not forget Donna Logan watching all of this from home. Eric's wife, Brooke's sister. Completely unaware that her husband might be reevaluating every vow he's ever made while surrounded by memories of his first great love. What happens when she finds out? What will she do if Eric acts on something more than nostalgia? As May sweeps ends, the fallout is just beginning. Ridge may have kissed Brooke, but does he still have her heart? Or has Nick returned at the exact moment Brooke needs to be reminded of who she once was and who she could be again? Will Taylor finally give up on Ridge once and for all, or will she fight harder than ever now that she's seen the enemy? And Eric, quiet, watchful Eric, will he finally confess that pushing Ridge toward Brooke was never about helping his son, but about rekindling something he never stopped wanting? Whatever happens next, one thing is certain. This trip to Italy has permanently changed the landscape of the bold and the beautiful. Old flames have reignited. New betrayals have been born. And every character is now standing at the edge of a cliff, figuratively and literally, wondering if the next step will bring salvation or send them all plummeting into the sea. And what happens in Italy? This time, it definitely isn't staying in Italy.